Hello, everyone. Welcome back to The Wire. My name is Gabe. It's good to be back with you all after a short hiatus while we had some shifts taking place here on the home front. But we were eager to get back to you today for a special edition of The Wire in the midst of the Israeli military's ongoing offensive against jihadist militants in the Gaza Strip. The latest round of hostilities began after the death of a former terrorist during a hunger strike in an Israeli prison on May 2nd. Qadir Adnan was a former spokesman of Palestinian Islamic Jihad, or PIJ, who had been in and out of Israel and Palestinian prisons since the 1990s for his affiliation with the terrorist group. He had often used the tactic of a hunger strike while in custody to put pressure on both his Israeli and Palestinian jailers. He was rearrested again in February of this year after public speeches which incited violence against Israel and began yet another hunger strike that lasted 87 days before he died on May 2nd. He was the first Palestinian to die from a hunger strike in Israeli custody since 1992. Despite Adnan's widow's pleas to militants on Palestinian television to not retaliate with rocket fire, Palestinian Islamic Jihad did just that, claiming that Adnan had been murdered by Israel. 104 rockets were fired by PIJ towards Israel, with Israeli missile defense system Iron Dome shooting down 24 of them over populated areas. Despite this, 2 rockets evaded Israeli defenses and impacted in the border city of Sderot, one of them in a construction site, wounding 3 foreign nationals who were working there. The Israeli military responded with the usual round of airstrikes against several militant positions inside Gaza. But after enduring over 1,300 rockets fired from Gaza towards Israel in the last year alone, the Israeli military decided to take defensive measures a step further and target those individuals responsible in Islamic Jihad for leading militant operations. So this Tuesday, May 9th, the Israeli Defense Forces, or IDF, announced the launch of Operation Shield and Arrow. Shortly afterward came near simultaneous precision airstrikes which killed 3 top Islamic Jihad operatives. One was in charge of terrorist operations in Gaza. One directed terrorist attacks in the West Bank from Gaza, including recent attacks targeting Israeli civilians. And the third was in charge of procuring weapons and money transfers on behalf of the organization. Immediately that day, the various jihadist groups in the Gaza Strip, including Hamas, which has ruled the Strip since 2007, met together in what is called the Joint Operations Room to plan a response. On Wednesday, the Israeli Air Force struck more than 100 targets in the Gaza Strip, mostly PIJ targets, as militants moved into position for the next round of rocket fire. The IDF were also attacked by militants in the West Bank on Wednesday, where a female Israeli soldier was seriously wounded by shrapnel in Tubas, just about 20 kilometers south of Jenin. About 20 militants were arrested in the West Bank on Wednesday. Then the rocket fire began late Wednesday, and as of the filming of this on Saturday morning, Jerusalem time, it has hardly let up. Over the last 72 hours, 860 rockets have been fired from Gaza towards southern Israel and central Israel, sending Israelis to bomb shelters in places like Sderot, Ashkelon, Tel Aviv, and around the country. Iron Dome intercepted about 260 of the rockets over population centers at a 96% success rate. The medium-range missile defense system called David's Sling was even used for the first time in a combat scenario to destroy an Iranian-made drone headed towards Tel Aviv, demonstrating Iran's role in funding, arming, and provoking Islamic Jihad in Gaza against its arch-enemy Israel. Hundreds of other rockets impacted open areas outside of cities and towns, while about 160 rockets, almost 1 in 4, misfired and landed inside the Gaza Strip, killing at least 4 civilians, including 3 children, one of them a 10-year-old girl. Despite the overwhelming success, one rocket fired from Gaza slipped through Israeli defenses and impacted an apartment building in the city of Rehovot, just 30 minutes south of Tel Aviv, killing 1 civilian and wounding 5 others. Shrapnel from another rocket wounded an 82-year-old Israeli woman in the Negev region, while a foreign national was also wounded by shrapnel in Eshkatol, just south and east of the Gaza Strip. The IDF has responded to relentless rocket fire with relentless airstrikes against militant positions across the Gaza Strip, assassinating a top figure in Islamic Jihad's rocket manufacturing with a precision airstrike, as well as dozens of rocket launcher positions, weapons factories, and other sites associated with Palestinian Islamic Jihad. So far, efforts by Qatar and Egypt to mediate a ceasefire have failed, with the jihadists demanding that Israel stop its targeted assassinations of militant leaders and demanding the cancellation of the Israeli flag march through the Old City of Jerusalem during upcoming Jerusalem Day festivities on May 18th. So far, the ruling Hamas group in Gaza has allowed Islamic Jihad's rocket fire to continue, but has not participated directly, while the IDF has not actively targeted Hamas personnel or infrastructure, although Hamas has been warned that it will be targeted if the rocket fire continues. That is today's Wire Update. Please follow us on Twitter to get continual daily updates throughout the week. And as always, we would ask the Maranatha Global community to join us in intercession for the people of Israel and of Gaza, for both Isaac and Ishmael, and for the peace of Jerusalem and the salvation of Zion, both from the present conflict and covenantally through the Prince of Peace, Yeshua, the Messiah. This is also a great time to sow into FAI's important work to construct and restore bomb shelters in northern Israel before the next big war against another Iranian proxy, Hezbollah. You can contribute to that initiative by visiting FAImission.givingfuel.com/bomb-shelter-campaign. That's it. Thank you again for your love and support of FAI's initiatives amongst the unreached and unengaged of the Muslim world. Blessings to you and Maranatha.